The four arms of Lord Vishnu has different purposes. The hands holding a lotus flower and conch shell are meant for the devotees, whereas the other two hands holding the disc and mace or club are meant for the demons. Actually, all of the Lord's arms are auspicious, whether they are holding conch shells and flowers or clubs and discs. The demons killed by Lord Vishnu's chakra disc and club are elevated to the spiritual world. Just like the devotees who are protected by the hands holding the lotus flower and the conch. However, the demons who are elevated to the spiritual world are situated in the impersonal Brahman effulgence, whereas the devotees are allowed to enter into the Vaikuntha planets. Those who are devotees of Lord Krishna are immediately elevated to the Goloka Vrindavan planet. The Lord's beauty is compared to rainfall, because when the rain falls in the rainy season, it becomes more and more pleasing to the people. After the scorching heat of the summer season, the people enjoy the rainy season very much. Indeed, they even come out of their doors in the villages and enjoy the rainfall directly. Thus, the Lord's bodily features are compared to clouds of the rainy season. The devotees enjoy the Lord's beauty because it is a collection of all kinds of beauties. Therefore, the word Sarvasaundarya Sangraham is used. No one can say that the body of the Lord is wanting in beautiful parts. It is completely Purnam. Everything is complete. God's creation, God's beauty, God's bodily features. All these are so complete that all one's desires can become fully satisfied when one sees the beauty of the Lord. The word Sarva Saundari indicates that there are different types of beauties in the material and spiritual worlds, and that the Lord contains all of them. Both the materialists and the spiritualists can enjoy the beauty of the Lord. Because the Lord attracts, the Supreme Lord attracts everyone, including the demons and devotees, materialists and spiritualists. He is called Krishna. Similarly, his devotees also attract everyone, as mentioned in Shadagoswami Shotra. Dhira dhira jana priya priya kare. The Goswamis are equally dear to the Dhira, the devotees, and the Adhira, the demons. Lord Krishna was not very pleasing to the demons when he was present in Vrindavan. But the six Goswamis are pleasing to the demons when they were present in Vrindavan. That is the beauty of the Lord's dealings with his devotees. Sometimes the Lord gives more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. For instance, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Lord Krishna fought simply by giving directions. Here it was Arjuna who took the credit for fighting. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. You, O Sabyasachi Arjuna, can be but an instrument in the fight. 1133 Bhagavad Gita. Everything was arranged by the Lord, but the credit of victory was given to Arjuna. Similarly, in the Krishna consciousness movement, everything is happening according to the predictions of Lord Chaitanya. But the credit goes to Lord Chaitanya's sincere servants. Thus, the Lord is described herein as Sarva Saundarya Sangraham.
What is this language that Lord Krishna was pleasing to them, I mean, not pleasing to them, but his personal was pleasing to them.
Yes. Hmm. Srila Prabhupada here provides a very beautiful description of the Lord's beauty. From the previous verse to this verse, there might be a confusion that what is being referred to, because here the Lord's address is four-handed, whereas previous verse Prabhupada talks about Lord Shiva wants to see Krishna's form in Vrindavan. So how the four hands have come. And Prabhupada explains that the ah ah Srila Prabhupada explains that in the Vidhi Marg, in Vaidhi Bhakti, even Lord Krishna is worshipped as Lakshmi Narayan, Radha Krishna. So therefore, Lord Krishna is worshipped as Lord Vishnu. So, four hands. Srila Prabhupada describes the difference between the Vidhi Marg and the Raga Marg. The Vedi Bhakti or the Vidhi Marg is very much based on servitude, or is very much all about servitude. So the primary rasas which are practiced and awakened in Vidhi Marg or Vedi Bhakti is Shantaras and Dasyaras. So Dasyaras is servitude. What is Shantaras? Dasyaras we can understand. Uh, Dasyaras is understandable. Using the hands in rooming the temple of the Lord, using the legs in walking towards the temple of the Lord, using the eyes in seeing the darshan of the Lord, using the mouth in glorifying Krishna, and the ears in hearing the glories of Krishna. That is service. So what is Shantaras? The Shantaras is basically absorption in Krishna. And one of the prime ways we practice and awaken Shantaras is hearing and chanting of Krishna Katha, the glories of the Lord. Absorption in Krishna. Glorification of Krishna, or absorption in glorification of Krishna, which is actually practiced and awakened through hearing about Krishna. Unless his absorption is there, servitude doesn't come up. If you don't hear about Krishna sufficiently, servitude doesn't come up. And how do we practically see? What is the proof practically in our life? When we don't do proper sadhana, we will see service as a burden. One will start seeing mala as a burden, service as a burden. But when we do sadhana very nicely, read here very nicely, read here, chant very nicely, the glories of the Lord, do Bhagavata Sevanam, then what is happening is, then one is, that gives one the inspiration, the eagerness to serve Krishna. That's the point. That's how the Shant and Dasya are related to each other. So Shantarasa is not something, the Shantarasa is not a in one sense, it's not a preface, which has to be skipped. The Shantarasa is the way to develop servitude. That's it. So the Vidhi Marg is very much about, so in fact, obviously, in fact, Shavanam Kirtanam is also a service. But we see Shavanam Kirtanam is the fundamental service, which actually leads to one developing all other kinds of service attitudes, or the inspiration to do all other kinds of service. That's what Shavanam and Kirtanam leads to. So this is Shanta and Dasya, and this is Vaidhi Bhakti or Vidhi Bhakti being talked about actually. Now, Raga Marga goes beyond this, which is basically, so Prabhupada explains basically Vatsalya and Madhurya, but the very intimate form of friendship, which is especially seen in Vrindavan, that is included in Raga Marga. The formal form of friendship we see in Dwarka and Hastinapur, we see that in Arjuna, how he deals with Krishna. But the Brajagopas don't deal like that with Krishna. They deal very intimately. So that is characteristic of Raga Marga. And the interesting, and the interesting and the one point understanding of Raga Marga is what? The interesting and one point understanding about Raga Marga is that we can never activate Raga Marga on our own. Raga Marga cannot be developed by practice, simulation, agitation, contemplation, the Raga Marga, and that is why Prabhupada is telling without following the regulative principles of Vedi Bhakti, no one can situate himself on the platform of Raga Marga. Raga Marga is not developed by practice. That Raga Marga is not developed by practice. Only the Vaidhi Bhakti can be developed by practice. So at the apex of Vedi Bhakti or the perfection of the practice of Vedi Bhakti, what is happening is that a sadhaka situates himself in the rasa of Shanta and Dasya. And one may just remain there. But these two rasas also exist on the raga platform, but the raga is majorly the other more intimate three. So one may be just satisfied and remain at this platform also in the spiritual world or in Goloka Vrindavan also. But one may be awarded or benedicted with one of the three higher rasas as well. That's the point. So therefore, the attempt to jump to the rag marg is utter foolishness, because the rag marg can never be accessed like that. It is never accessed like that. That is why a sadhaka gives utmost priority to the regulative principles. So Krishna, no doubt, is bhava grahi, but the point to note is that bhava is not generated from the platform of imagination or speculation. Bhava is generated only from the platform of servitude, and that also following in the disciplic succession of the acharyas. That's the point. So Krishna consciousness is is not at all about any kind of imagination, hallucination, speculation. Krishna consciousness is a very clear process. Each and every regulative principle which is given in the Shastras is meant for our upliftment. And we make a deep mistake when we go to the extent of passing commentaries. That this is practical, this is not practical for this age. or this is practical for us, this is not practical for us. So that judgment itself is a problem. The mentality to judge itself is a disease, is it not? So regulative principles are not meant for no classification. They are meant for implementation. Krishna doesn't want classification from us. That okay, these principles, are they practical, appealing to you? Can you follow, and so on and so forth. So what you can follow? No, everything can be followed. If it was not to be followed, why is the Lord revealing to us? That's the point. So regulative principles have to be given priority by a sadhaka. So it's not about imagination, is it not? Baba never encourage any kind of imagination or hallucination. So that is why it is wrong to actually assume a particular state on part of a sadhaka. So when we say, okay, we are devotees, actually we are making a very big assumption. When we say we are devotees, I am Vaishnava Prabhu. So we're making a very big assumption, actually, is it not? So in fact, that mentality is not what our acharyas recommend. Our acharyas recommend another kind of mentality. What is that mentality? I am the only non-devotee here in Sirakuj. So why are you staying in Sirakuj? Because I'm non-devotee. So I don't have devotional service, but I can borrow from the glorious devotees around and offer something to Krishna. Is it not? That's the idea. That's the mood. So to feel that I am Krishna conscious is itself problematic. Therefore, the feeling that I am not Krishna conscious. So therefore, let me engage myself fully in service to Krishna. Because by default, I am not Krishna conscious. So at least some connection to Krishna will happen. Jai Shri Shaitai Chand Gaur Chand Bhagwan ki Jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Maharaj Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. So sadhaka should understand, by default we are all Krishna unconscious, Maya conscious. Only when we focus and work hard and stretch ourselves, then it is possible to elevate ourselves to a Krishna conscious platform, at least for some time. Again we'll follow. Again it should go. And this is called as Vedic. And therefore you see the analogy is very beautiful. Krishna's beauty is given a very beautiful analogy. The analogy is what? The rain cloud which is showering the rains. The Lord's various bodily features are compared to a rain cloud. But to multiple times the analogy says that this rain cloud has been Uh, this rain cloud has manifest after a great period of torturous scorching heat. After that, this rain cloud has appeared and it is glistening. So the glistening is equivalent to raining. You know. The Lord's form also glistens. Means what? It radiates or it rains. What it rains? Mercy. That's the point. So that's the rainfall analogy which is given here. Very interesting. And now towards the end of the purport, Srila Prabhupada is talking about. So one is the physical beauty of the Lord. But that's not the end of the Lord's beauty. The Lord's beauty is also manifest in terms of his sweet dealings. Dealings. Therefore, the dealings of the Lord is also described as Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. That means all beauty resides and rests in the Supreme Lord. That is physically or literally true, but it is also true in terms of Lord's dealings, which are so sweet and attractive. That's the point. And Prabhupada goes further to say that many times the Lord may not be attractive to a certain demons, certain set of demons. So Krishna was not attractive to Trinavarta or Aghasur, Bakasur and all that. They came to murder Krishna. They were envious of Krishna. So that is a demon. Right. Uh, so Krishna is not attracted to the demons. However, the devotees are attracted to the demons. Yeah. The interesting point is that why the devotees are attracted to the demons? Because the devotees do not take Krishna's position in trying to smash off or crush the demons. The devotees they try to kill the demonic mentality in the person. Therefore, they are more attractive. And this one department Krishna is given to the devotees. That's why this aspect is coming. So this aspect primarily speaks about uh, Krishna's beauty in terms of his sweet dealings. Yes, question.
Understand when somebody is falsely proclaiming that he has avoided the Raga. So how to save oneself from such people? Suppose them that
Yes, the question is if somebody is falsely proclaiming that he has got some raga bhav, falsely, how do we identify? Oh, the identification is easy. What is the easy identification? So somebody falsely claim, so somebody is saying that he is in raga bhav means definitely he is not in raga bhav. At least he is not in raga bhav. Because raga bhav will say bhakti nahi. Bhakti nahi, ved nahi, naam hai khubadari. So one is in raga bhav, he will say like this. I don't have any bhakti, I don't have any devotion, I don't have any knowledge. I am a fool. योग्यता विचारे किचु नहीं पाई. This is the symptom of raga bhav. And somebody is saying that he is in raga bhav is in great abhav. So, so therefore one should be very careful. Somebody says I am raga, no? One should just offer obeisance and run away. One should just offer obeisance and run away. Is it that? So it is easy to understand. So you see, all acharyas, what do they say? Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I am in Raga Bhav. What is saying? Gopinath, Mama Nivedana Suno. Vishay Durjan, I am Durjan, Vishay. Are you chanting all day, all night and saying I am Durjan Vishay? Saying Durjan Vishay. Sada Kamarata. Kichu nahi mora guna. Asura Sakala Pailo Charana Vinoda Thakilo Bosi. All the great demons and rascals, they are obtaining a lotus feet without the Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I am so fallen. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling, I am so fallen that I am not getting your mercy. And I am sitting and watching. Is it not? So the differentiation is very easy. Is it not? This Yogyata Vichari who is singing Nartundas Thakur. That's the point. Differentiation very easy.
Sometimes the differentiations are shared difficult because they are telling that they are not.
They can articulate them disability because
They're saying that they are not in alcohol. But even Rudra just become crying. Even if it's the week, so we can still the last week. They're crying about tears. Even if you're not crying. So the activity is different. They're saying that they're missing values. They have affection towards Krishna. They have affection towards Radha. But they say that they don't. So where is the gray line?
actually one letter to if a devotee is getting symptoms of ecstatic, never reveal. भी हमको पता लगता है कि प्रॉब्लम टाइम में सबके काम में तो होते
Yes, so that is true that a devotee, a genuine devotee, will not reveal any such emotions and feelings like. Prabhupada gives the example of wife never reveals many such reciprocations in the family. I mean, to outsiders. So the point is that so now the question is that okay, but some things are sometimes visible, sometimes we can understand. So now if somebody is feeling, how do we understand? So he's externally not saying he's raga bhav. He's saying he's abhav, but then he's and somehow or the other he's trying to get the impression on others that he is in what is that? Which bhav? Raga bhav. Raga bhav. So Krishna consciousness is holistic. Krishna consciousness is holistic. Uh, Krishna consciousness is a holistic process. So one cannot just show some feelings and sentiments, exhibit some feelings and sentiments, and dance like Mahaprabhu or dance like Mahaprabhu or something like that, and faint and dance and all that, and then we start thinking that okay, such a fellow has come in Raga Bhav. So what is the proof? The proof is how much sweat and toil they are doing for proper mission. How much sweat and toil they are doing for proper mission. Proper Raga Bhav, what did he do? He left Vrindavan. He left Vrindavan and traveled all around the world. Even on his deathbed, Prabhupada was going to London for preaching. And Prabhupada said, let me die preaching. I want to die as a warrior. That's the point. So, what is one contributing for the mission? We have to see that. So we have to see the holistic servitude of the devotee, not just his presentation. Not just his presentation, the holistic. We have to see morning program. Morning program is to be seen. One cannot remain sleeping till 10 o'clock in the morning and say he is in, raga, what do you call it as, raga bhav, Yeah, we have to see, or one cannot keep sleeping whole day, 4 hours and say, he's in samadhi, no? The in trance. So, no, one should be running for Krishna, is it not? How do we understand proper affection for Krishna? What all risks he had taken to serve Krishna, please Krishna? That is a barometer, and that is what something can be seen and should be seen.
That means, like we will never leave the Guru Parampara also. तो अपने गुरु को छोड़ के उसको यही बोलेगा मुझे राघव अवॉर्ड हो गया. So that means we will also be doing a display succession and always a servant to this guru. That's how we come back. They never said, oh, we will never become independent in this guru.
Yeah. So one will never become independent of one's guru. One is that is there. So one is doing all services, is it not, for the pleasure of the guru, without assuming any position, without assuming any false identity. So holistic orientation can be is what is supposed to be seen. How much a Vaishnava respects other fellow Vaishnavas, that has to be seen. How much he respects other Vaishnavas, that has to be seen. How much one cooperates with others, that has to be seen. Somebody says, no, I am the only, I am the only fellow, the genuine fellow, So now ISKCON is not that pure. Let me just, create a pure wing parallel. All these are very dangerous and insubstantial points, is it not? So genuine devotee will cooperate. Genuine devotee will have genuine humility, genuine spirit of tolerance, sacrifice, like that. That's the point. So these are some factors which can help us identify.
Talking. So that we can see from our cousin Lakshmanan. And my uncle actually in Mumbai, immense thing somebody asked this part of your card and all that. How you are so much enthusiastic. Maharaj gave a very long answer. And the man will talk about that. Glorified Prabhupada beauty and that's it. Like so much I have received, I'm just trying to sell. And actually I'm not an experience.
Yes.
So that's it. Like to that extent, still Maharaj is saying
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that is true. So our present acharyas are following that. So the episode of Jay Pataka Swami Maharaj, when he was asked despite his health why you're preaching, so he said that he's not sufficiently serving and Prabhupada did so much for us, and he's not able to reciprocate sufficiently. So how can he stop? How can a genuine person stop serving in the mission of the previous acharyas? Okay, text 47, 48. Priti prahasita pangam alakai rupa shobhitam लसत पंकजा किंजल का दुकुलम मृष्ट कुंडलम स्फुरत किरीट वालया हरानुपूर मेखलम शंख चक्र कदा पद्मा मला मालामणि उत्तमा अर्धिमात्. The Lord is super excellently beautiful on account of his open and merciful smile and his sidelong glance upon his devotees. His black hair is curly and his garments waving in the wind appear like flying saffron pollen from the lotus flowers. His glittering earrings, shining helmet, bangles, garland, ankle belts, waist belts, and various other bodily ornaments combined with the conch shell, disc, club, and lotus flower increase the natural beauty of the kaustubha pearl on his chest. Oh, purpose. The word prahasita apanga, referring to Krishna's smile and sidelong glances at his devotees, specifically applies to his dealings with the gopis. Krishna is always in a joking mood when he increases the feelings of conjugal rasa in the hearts of the gopis. The conch shell, the club, the disc, the lotus flower can be either held in his hands or seen on the palms of his hands. According to palmistry, the signs of a conch shell, club, the lotus flower and disc mark the palms of great personalities and especially indicate the supreme personality of God. So interestingly, why the description of the markings on the palms, the both the great personalities and the supreme personality of Godhead is discussed here. The point is, one who is a Shakti Avesh avatar, he also has the fingers. We read it in Prithu Maharaj's past time. He also has these the conch, the Shankha Chakra Gada Padma symbols, but only on one hand, not on both the hands. Both the hands is only the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, you see the great personalities mentioned here. Yeah. So Prithu Maharaj had those the markings, but on one hand, he was Shakti Avesh Avatar. He is a Jiva Tattva empowered with the powers of the Supreme Lord. That is what a Shakti Avesh, empowered. Jiva empowered with the powers of the Supreme Lord. Okay, read ahead. सिंहस्कन्दातुषो बिभ्रत् सौभागग्रीवकौस्तुभम् श्रिया नापायिन्यशित्त